Hi everyone, and welcome to week 7 of English 101 online. So this week we're going to talk about revising your analysis essays, which we drafted in week 6. I know that this kind of assignment can be pretty difficult, but I hope that going through some peer review this week and doing a revision plan for this essay will give you some ideas on what you'd like to improve. So let's go ahead and get started. The assignments for this week are hopefully decently straightforward. There are 2 readings I'd like you to do. One from you writing peer review, and then one called providing good feedback. This is going to be specifically focused on the peer review we're going to do for Reflection 6 this week. So once you've done the reading, post your draft, what you have right now, to our Reflection 6 space as soon as you can. That way other people can start giving feedback. And then once you've posted yours, wait until later in the week when more people have posted their drafts, and then you're going to want to peer review 3 other essays according to the peer review instructions. Respond to those without feedback first, okay? Don't just click the first person that you see, because that person will get all of the feedback, and then the people that post later or have posted earlier won't get any. So please make sure that you're kind of spreading out the love here. And then I'd like, based on the feedback, for you to turn in a revision plan between Saturday and Monday. I will also be giving you feedback on your drafts that you can use, but I've found that a peer review can be very helpful and very useful as long as that we, do it with enough intention. So we'll talk about that later in this video as well. So before we get into the peer review, I want to talk a little bit about using sources in Essay 2. You should only be using the piece that you're analyzing in your essay. All right, so if I'm writing my essay on This Is America by Childish Gambino, I'm going to cite just his song, and I'm going to give my ideas about the song. This is not a research paper, okay? So I do not want you to have a whole list of sources in your works cited page. However, I do want you to use quotes and examples from the piece that you're analyzing. So if you do that, be sure that you're putting quotation marks around it, and then in parentheses, you tell me what that source is from. If you have used other websites, if you've done background information looking up, you have to cite those as well, okay? If that means that you've ended up with 6 different sources in your works cited page, you need to cut that out, all right? Primarily, I want the source and what you think about it, okay? So the piece you're analyzing and your thoughts. Those are the 2 things that I want in this essay, okay? So we're going to talk then about how to cite the piece that you're analyzing. So another video that I'm going to share with y'all relates to creating a works cited page. So I'm going to share this on Brightspace, and I'd like you all to watch it as well. I won't, record the video here, but it goes over how to create a works cited page and then how to cite different online resources like a website, Twitter, Facebook, a YouTube video if you're using a video for your essay. So I will link this as well. But basically what you want to do is after your draft, in a new page, you want to label the last page works cited, all right, and then give the reference information in MLA for the artifact that you're using, okay? So as you can see in this example here, they've still got, the title, their running header, and then they have 2 sources listed here, but you only want the one. So I can tell from this reference information that Abrams Alice is the author. This was the name of the thing that they read. Toying with Theory was the name of the journal it's from. So this, from the reference, I should be able to tell what kind of source it is and where it came from. So that video will help, giving you some more examples. And then I'm also going to show you guys an example of a song. So I know a lot of you may have chosen songs for your essay. To cite a song in MLA, you want to use the artist's name. So this is Bob Dylan's Blown in the Wind. And then the website where you found the song or the lyrics, and then link that. So in the body of your writing, you can then, after a quotation, put the author's name and a timestamp afterwards. So this part here is what goes at the end in your works cited page. And this part is what goes after any direct quotes or paraphrasing, okay? So if you didn't do a song, you're still going to put just the author, the artist, or the speaker's name in parentheses after any quotes. You also want to do this when you paraphrase, but for us, I want you to focus just on direct quotes. I know that this is not a research course, so you're going to cover more of citations in English 102, but I do expect you to make it clear to me what is your ideas and what comes from the song or poem or speech that you're analyzing. All right, so the other thing we're doing this week is revising. So based on you writing, one of the best ways to get help with revising is to ask someone that you trust for feedback and constructive criticism. So when you look at this, maybe you think, oh, I'll ask my mom or my friend or my sister who's a teacher about their feedback on my essay. And those are great people to ask when you don't have access to others. But sometimes when you ask someone close to you who doesn't really have experience with the assignment, they're not going to give you the best feedback. It may not be constructive. So the peer review we're going to practice this week is going to give you guys a chance to give more constructive feedback, more specific feedback, because you guys know what I'm asking you for, and you know what's expected for our course. So that's what our reflection number 6 is going to focus on. Okay, so before you complete the peer review, I want you to ask yourself, what are some good guidelines for setting the tone of the feedback that you want to give? So we've all had those people in class who've looked at our essay and then they've said, this is good. And you're like, okay, that was not helpful at all. Or maybe you've had someone who you gave your paper to and then they marked all over it in red ink and made you feel really awful about what you've written. We want to aim for somewhere in the middle of those two extremes, okay? So before you complete the peer review, do the readings for this week. Think about what it means to give good, constructive feedback, all right? And then I also have some guidelines for you guys here. Before you make the comment, before you respond, read the entire paper, top to bottom. Give yourself enough time to really think about what this person wrote. Consider pointing out strengths as well as weaknesses. Offer suggestions, not commands. You guys are not the instructor for this class, so it is not your job to dictate what someone must do, all right? Please be respectful and considerate of each other. It's a very vulnerable space to share your writing with other people. Make sure that your comments are clear and specific. I'm going to give you instructions for the peer review that hopefully will do this for you. And then just think about, as a reader, questions that come to mind. Questions are one of my favorite ways to give feedback because this can give the writer somewhere to go with their revision. Try not to give too much commentary, although this isn't normally something I get much. And then don't let your own opinions bias what you think or what you're putting in your peer review. You know, if this person has decided to analyze a song that you don't like, try not to let that impact how you view their writing, all right? And then last but not least, reread your comments before posting, all right? Reread what you've put, all right, and think about, okay, if I were getting this feedback, how would I feel about the feedback I'm getting from my classmate? And just remember, it's not your paper, it's theirs. So you're giving suggestions and being as helpful as you can, but ultimately their decision to change anything is theirs and theirs alone. All right, so hopefully this gave you guys an idea of what we're doing in week 7, and I will talk to you soon.